In this Jedi Survivor video, we will be taking a look at all of the new details by breaking down the final gameplay trailer. Before we do take a look at it though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates about the game. So during Star Wars Celebration, which was fantastic by the way, we got the final gameplay trailer for the game. It revealed way more than I thought it would, plus have a bunch of connections back to previous trailers. Instead of going through this trailer as it happened, I thought what would be a good idea and make more sense is take each of the scenes in the trailer that actually are in the same time frame of the game and then pair them up with scenes in the same sort of time of the game from previous trailers so we can get a better idea of what is happening in this story. We will start with the very first scene in this trailer though, which is Cal struggling through the sandstorm on this sandy planet. Around the same time in this part of the game, we have a battle with an AT-ST, and it's cool to see the pilot actually inside the window. We can just pull him out like so if we get on top of the AT-ST. And I think this is definitely the same planet which we saw in the previous story trailer for the game where this destruction happens during the sandstorm. Many have speculated which planet is this because we don't actually know 100% yet. Is it Dathomir, Jeddah, or even Moraband? Well, based on what we've seen in the story trailer and now this final gameplay trailer, it's leading me towards Jeddah because there are statues of what appears to be Jedi, and this is similar to what we see on Jeddah in Rogue One. The architecture, both inside and the environment on the outside, really looks more like Jeddah than any other planet that we know of, I think. Just look at it. Compared to, say, Dathomir, it's quite different. It has that Jordan-esque sand and rock. Cal is going towards what appears to be some sort of Jedi Temple in the background, which I think is what we saw in the interior shots. Another shot from this planet is a speeder bike chase, which is going to be awesome. Cal taking on the scout troopers on speeder bikes. We have Bo to the left, so Cal's not alone here, and this is going to be fun because this is new for this Jedi franchise. This was also the standout scene in the trailer that got the biggest reaction from the crowd. We got to see Cal just lift up this scout trooper into a TIE fighter. Cal does make it to this Jedi Temple. We can see the Jedi statues behind him and Merrin along with the security droid. And this is likely happening before this shot of Cal and Merrin using the Force and magic to take on this huge structure. This is the same thing that we see in the previous story trailer for the game, and this just looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? So much is going on. A Night Sister and a Jedi using their powers together to stop whatever this is. Now, I did say this might be a Trident-class ship from the Clone Wars era, but it was also way too big to be that. However, I found out that there are actually really big versions of the Trident-class ship, so this could be that huge variant, because it's not the same one as found that we usually see. So it's either that or some sort of mining technology that is used by the Empire to strip what probably is Jeddah of its kyber. We don't know exactly whereabouts Sia has been, or is currently in this game, but it's looking like she might be in that temple, because as you can see it's got the same sort of architecture. She's really into building the Jedi Order up again, so this is cool to see her again, but we just have to speculate whereabouts she is. Moving on from what could be Jeddah to Coruscant, which we know is 100% confirmed. And as you can see, we get this cool shot of Cal taking on some scout troopers in an alleyway similar to what we saw in the previous story trailer when he was with Bode. More stormtroopers are patrolling the area that we've seen in the previous trailer and now this trailer as well, so this is definitely going to be one of those areas that we're going to be playing quite a bit in, I think. We got this extended version of Cal looking out to the skyline of Coruscant inside a Republic police gunship. Another thing that got a huge reaction from the crowd was this shot of the Jedi Temple. Cal is going right into the heart of the Empire with the Jedi Temple, which now has imperial logos all over it, and it's sad to see. But I'm so glad we got to see this in this trailer. Flying from Coruscant to Kobo now, and Kobo, if you didn't know, is this big open world planet in the game, the central hub of this story, and we can see that Cal does indeed end up getting up close to this humongous creature as found in the IGN preview back in February, so that is definitely the cutscene that happens after you do make it to this huge creature. BD1 gets a cool moment by falling off this creature and then having his jetpack sort of ability stopping him from completely smashing into the ground. Another shot of Kobo inside of Rambler's Reach, the hub village, and we have this really interesting looking droid. I don't know what type of droid this is, but they are holding this ancient artifact that we've seen in the various trailers for the game. We get a look at Cal and Bode meeting in Grease's cantina. We also got some same but also different shots of the Rancor battle on Kobo, which I did show you in a previous video when I got to play the game, and there is also this shot of the Mantis flying as Cal is riding a creature that allows him to traverse the landscape much quicker. So either Grease is piloting the Mantis now, so he's got his ship back, or someone has stolen it, which I really hope is not the case, and I just hope Cal is meeting up with Grease. Another cool shot of Kobo is Cal and Bode taking on this scout trooper on this huge platform. I've talked about it so many times. It's this big raised platform in the sky of Kobo. We saw it from a different perspective when Cal was trying to get to it in the previous trailer, so we do actually end up making it onto it. It's huge, isn't it? And it's so cool to see this incredible sky and detail that's going on in the background. You can see the Separatist core ship in the background, and with the scout trooper being there, well, the Empire have found this planet and know where Cal is. Cal fights a masked character who is also wielding a lightsaber, a double-bladed lightsaber, and it's in a very fancy location, which gives me some High Republic vibes to it. Maybe it's on Kobo as well. But this masked character somewhat resembles a little bit of the one that we saw with the Crossguard lightsaber in previous trailers. Maybe they are from the Bedlam Raiders and they are trained lightsaber wielders that don't necessarily have the Force, I don't know. Next up we have yet another location, and it's likely going to be the unnamed moon that we saw in the IGN footage back in February. So this unnamed moon has a bunch of droids and Bedlam Raiders on it. It's some sort of secret base maybe above the planet Kobo, and it all has the same sort of architecture as seen in the trailers that come before it. But in these clips, Cal is taking on Ravers, the Gendai, who is basically indestructible. So what's interesting is how his armor does change throughout the clips. So in some of the clips he has all of his armor, whereas in some of them he does not. He's missing some armor plates, and you can see the tentacles that make up him as a Gendai. That's what they are. They are made up of all these different tentacles and they fit inside the armor. You can also see he's missing some of his leg armor as well. So it seems like when you deal damage to Ravers, he will take damage in his armor and it will leave him exposed. There are things floating in the background which are the same things that we see in this scene of the previous story trailer. There is also what might be a Bacta tank in this shot as well. I don't really know who this could be. It's quite big. I don't think it's that potential High Republic Jedi that we've speculated about, but who knows. We finally got to take a look at droidekas in this game, and they just rolled in much like how we saw them roll in the community update video for Battlefront 2, as well as in the films, and I do think this is the Separatist core ship on Kobo. That is a big crash location that we are going to be able to explore. These corridors have the same architecture as the Separatist core ship as seen in the Phantom Menace. The same sort of architecture makes its way into this shot of Cal and this guy fighting over what is this device that we've seen in the various trailers. So they're using the Force to pull it. Is it going to be a Last Jedi situation where it snaps and breaks and then they have to go fix it? And there is also that droid from before on Kobo with BD1. There are like arms around this droid. Don't know what's going on here, but the droid looks very scared of what's happening. BD1's just sort of chilling almost. The architecture of this room is very similar to what we saw in the very first trailer for this game, where Cal faces off against a cloaked figure with one arm and a red lightsaber. This character from the Bacta tank has one arm, so it's likely the same person, and it's taking place in the same location, so probably Cal does go into a lightsaber battle with this character in this location, and we saw it in the very first trailer of the game, and now in the final trailer for the game a whole year later. I'm not entirely sure if this shot is on Kobo or Jeddah or something else, but there is an Imperial shuttle crash landed in the distance, and then Cal is taking on some stormtroopers, so I'd imagine this is the same shot as seen at the beginning of the story trailer that we recently got, when this ship Cal was in with a purge troop was falling and Cal fell out of it. I think it was probably this Imperial shuttle that he was in. And if you weren't aware, there is dismemberment because Cal just cleanly cuts off this leg of a stormtrooper. Again, I don't know which planet this shot is taking place on. Is it Kobo? Is it Jeddah? Is it something else? I don't know. It could be the same location as where the shuttle is. But Cal is holding this hologram, and I don't know who it is. I was thinking maybe it's Bode, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll just have to wait and see who indeed this is. Bode, Grease, and Merrin take flight in the Mantis here. It's quite a dark location outside, from the windows at least, so maybe this is the same planet that Cal crash lands on and they are going to help save him, something like that. I think this shot of them leaving the Mantis here is probably from this same sort of scene. They land on this planet and then they exit the Mantis. Let me know down in the comment section below which was your favourite part of this trailer and favourite details, or if you found anything yourself. And if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like to help support the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss any future videos on this game. And if you did miss any of my previous videos, which you probably did, click on the playlist on screen right now. And I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.